Found on the High Seas, a serialized gay romance taking place aboard the Caribbean ocean liner, the Majestic Sun. Follow along as I take everyone on a Caribbean adventure with humor, love, and of course, destruction. Penned by Riley Mason, narrated by me, Brian Shepard. Episode 1, A New Start. As Britton St. John rolled over to look at the clock, it was an early 6 a.m. Why his body thought he needed to be up so early every day made no sense to him. Britton was divorced, unemployed, and refused to leave his house. So again, why get out of bed when there's nothing to get up for? Britton, being only 45, seemed to be in a slump, which he is 100% certain is karma getting back at him. It's been a year since his divorce to who he thought was the love of his life, someone who still holds a huge part of his heart, who doesn't even know it. It's been very difficult for him to move on completely, 13 years with the same person, to then nothing, and bouncing from hotel to friends' living room couches. Finally, getting through that, the perfect job comes along, and life seems to be getting back to somewhat normal, which means no more hotels and staying with friends. Now, with the money rolling in, he was able to search and find a place, even upgrading his vehicle to something more fitting. Still, even with the distraction of work, the loss of someone close still stung. Yet, there was no point dwelling on something that was done and over with. Everything was great, until an old friend of his was looking for work. He had a feeling this would be a bad idea. However, like him needing a job, she has helped him in the past. Britton now regrets that decision, as it led to him being unemployed, as she swooped in and took his job. So, now we're back to square one. Losing the job made things worse for Britton. He never wanted to leave the house. He did not want to be seen in stores or around town, afraid he might run into someone. Everything he needed or wanted was delivered to his door. If it wasn't for his best friend Brooklyn getting him out of the house almost every day for a walk at the lake, he most likely would be wasting away in his 550 square foot apartment talking to his plant, Bob. Sitting up in bed, it was the sound of his cell phone ringing in the other room that had him getting up to answer. It was Brooklyn. "Yes, I'm awake," he answered. "Good, because I'm not waiting around. I was thinking about the lake this morning. It's supposed to be clear and warm." "Okay, that's fine with me. Kids are back in school, so don't complain when I'm late. I seem to be a magnet when it comes to those buses." "Fine. So let's say 9:15-ish. Gives you plenty of time to get ready and grab your coffee on the way." "All right, I'll see you then," he replied and hung up the phone. Time to get ready. The daily walks are what cleared his mind of all this craziness that has happened, even if it's only for about an hour. If it gave him the chance to talk about his frustrations and catch up with the world, fine with him. Arriving at the lake, Britton was not surprised to see Brooklyn doing laps in the parking lot as he pulled into the spot next to her. All right, so it was 9:20. What was it this time? An old lady crossing the road? Very funny. I forgot about the construction on the cut over, so I had to backtrack just a bit. I reminded you of that yesterday. I'm beginning to think you don't listen to me. Let's start, as you don't have all day. What do you mean I don't have all day? He asked, stopping. Come on, and I'll tell you, she said as she turned to show off that smile, in which he knew meant she was up to something. His walk with her was normally only about a mile to a point and back. 2 miles a day was good enough for him, as the rest of his steps came when he was home and paced around his apartment in boredom. As they walked down the road, Brooklyn was quick to point out the newly paved road and all the houses' lawns and how they're all kept up, yet nothing about what she's been up to. "Spill it. What have you been up to?" he asked. "Okay, so you know that I love you and I care for your well-being and hate the fact that you have a hard time finding work. So I may have helped you in the long run, so remember that when the time comes," she says with a cheesy smile. "Oh, good God, what have you done? I am fine and in no need of assistance, thank you. I applied to a job as you, and you were hired. So how's that for not needing help?" "You're welcome." "What? What job? And when did you do that?" "Get this. You're going to be flying down to Florida and getting on a cruise ship," she said, sounding all excited, as if she was the one going. "What? No way. What are you talking about? Did you get me a job on some island in the middle of nowhere?" "No, you fool. You would be working on the ship as the guest relations manager. Like in making sure people are happy and running the front desk. You love ships, so I thought, what the heck, and gave it a shot. And, considering they loved your resume, you got the job." Stopping and turning, as it was now time to head back towards the car. "I can't believe you did this. Really? Me working on a cruise ship? I hear they make good money. Wait, who do I work for? Wait, let me guess. Carnival." Putting his code in on his SUV to unlock the doors. "No." "Celebrity?" "No." "Royal?" "God, no." "Oh my God. No, you didn't. Wait, you did. I'm working on the new Disney Treasure?" "Sorry, Mickey, not that ship." "Oh God, Brooklyn, am I working on some yacht, as I don't know any other companies?" "Majestic Cruises. The ship is called the Majestic Sun," reading her phone as she forwarded the email to him. "I've sent you the instructions, so now it's up to you to do the rest. You need this. I'd get moving, as I believe you fly out tonight." "What? I just can't leave. What about my apartment? And Bob, who will water him?" he asked, as if he didn't already know the answer. "Me, dummy," she said, as she waved and drove away. Seriously? Did that just happen? Getting home and quickly packing and going out to grab whatever else he would need for this trip, Britton went over his contract, found that it was for 5 months at sea, twice a year, with the possibility of transferring to another ship. The salary was fantastic and seemed to fit the job description, which he was happy with. On the drive to the airport, Britton was able to look up Majestic Cruises and see what they were all about. For being part of the ocean liner enthusiast group on Facebook, he had never heard of this company. Just after typing the name in the search bar, Google was full of articles and information regarding Majestic and their ships. This company, it seemed, was no stranger to bad publicity, as every article or news video showed something very bad that had happened. News articles talked about a man who went on a revenge rampage and damaged a ship and nearly sank it. A video showed a news reporter describing the scenes of inside another ship where a madman on the hunt for treasure shot and killed people during a Panama Canal crossing. Another video from a rescued passenger shows the moment the Majestic Star sank in the icy southern sea. A scary moment for sure. This was looking like it was a mistake, and maybe he should rethink living on a cruise ship for the next 5 months. What if something happens with this ship? Would he survive? The ride, thanks to the company, was fast and got him to the airport with plenty of time to check his baggage and get through security. It might be a little easier, as his ex-husband had signed them up for the TSA pre-check. Smart move, as now he gets to use it for the first time. Comfy and nervous at the same time, Britain was ready to relax and have a nice quiet flight down to Melbourne International Airport, which then was a roughly 28-mile drive to Port Canaveral. Sitting next to him was an older woman who, for the most part, has been quiet since sitting down, almost like she's sleeping. Wearing a sun hat and sunglasses, it looked as if though she was ready to have an adventure out in the sun. The comfy and quiet ride never did happen, as Britain was sitting next to Anita Cromwell. Britain is a strange name, one you don't hear every day. Then again, you would, wouldn't you, dear? Yes, it is different, yet I rather like my name. So, you mean to tell me that you've been on every cruise ship that I've read about? He asked. Oh, yes, dear. Frightful times. Yet made it through, and I'm still going. Although this may be my last, not sure yet. My sister Duchess wants me to help her run her bed and breakfast. The conversation never stopped, as she wanted to know everything she could about him. And I mean everything. No worries, my dear. I'm sure there is a tall, dark, handsome guy just waiting for you. You'll see. I must introduce you to Riley. Yes, that would work. Oh, I'm super excited. He's perfect for you, she said, making Britain confused. I'm here to work, Anita, not worrying about finding someone. I can do that back home. Thanks anyways, he replied. There was no way that he was going to let some strange old woman play matchmaker. He needed to focus on the job. He needed the money to keep what he had, as during the marriage, all he had was his dog. Justin? Anita said as a man walked by their row. Anita? Oh my God, what are you doing here? Wait. Don't tell me you're on the sun this time around, the guy said, as he rolled his eyes, obviously not surprised by her saying yes. Well, I'm on the way to the restroom. Eric and I will see you on board. And off he went, as quick as ever, not before giving Britain a "I'm so sorry" look. This is going to be worth it. This is something he has never done before. Everything will be okay, and nothing bad will happen to the ship, he kept thinking, as the plane finally touched down at the airport. Now it was time to collect his luggage and find his ride to the ship, though it seems he'll be following Anita, as his new friend is going the same way. Thanks for listening, everyone. Till next time.